Hey guys, welcome to Simply Bitcoin, channel that breaks down all the daily Bitcoin news from Twitter to important updates to cringy daily fails. We've got it all. Before we get started, drop us a like. Don't forget to subscribe. All right, we're going to kick it off with the Clark Moody dashboard. Okay, block height 648,488, price 10,776. Chain rewrite days, 528. Total lightning capacity, 1,075.51 BTC.
Up 2 Bitcoin from yesterday. This just keeps crawling up, baby. Crawling up.
That's right. But it's interesting because the price just jumped, right? It went from 74 to 76 as we were talking. So that was nice.
That was a nice little jump. It's a nice little jump.
Yeah.
Time for the daily fail.
Okay, so the tweet is by Jeet Sidhu, and everyone is a scammer. Okay, so this is why it's definitely important, to be honest. And, there's really at the end of the day, you don't need to impress anybody, but this is really bad. So if you start to look through the tweets, he first bought Bitcoin in 2011. He's owned a lot in the past. He bought his first Bitcoin actually in 2012, apparently. But then really he first started buying Bitcoin in college in February 2014. Sometimes those years, they get mixed up, it's between 2011 and 2014, I guess. And then actually he had bought some Bitcoin in 2012. But then he really actually, he never owned any crypto in his life. And then he actually never owned any large amounts, even though he had owned a lot in the past. So anyways, that's just so cringy. Anyways, I'm sorry, that's just bad. Who cares? Who cares when you bought it? Like, why does it matter that what anyone else thinks when you bought Bitcoin? Like, who cares? And then of course the comments for this. So, Larry obviously didn't appreciate this, right? So he blocked, Jeet. And of course, we scroll on down to some of the comments, right? So Psychedelic Bart, especially Larry the Llama, and then we go down to T, Schrodinger's stack, which is great for those people who understand Schrodinger's cat, the cat that's like dead and alive at the same time, different dimensions. He bought Shats back in 1983. So, anyways, it's just I just find that to be a totally funny thread. It's absolutely brutal when people just aren't consistent in their messaging, and the internet just remembers everything. So if anything at all, that's the lesson of the day, is that the internet remembers everything and everyone is a scammer.
Phil's lesson for the day: everyone's a scammer. Don't trust anybody. I like it.
Can't trust us either.
I hate that guy.
Let's be honest, right? Everyone's a scammer.
I hate that guy so much. Lawmaster, dude, he's a bear, but he hates Bitcoin, but he has Bitcoin, but he's never had Bitcoin. I don't like that guy, Phil.
It's always weird, right? Like when I first got into Bitcoin Twitter, I always just found that I never knew where he stood. Like this it was always this all right, so what are you saying? It's always one of those things when you're reading his tweets, you're like, all right, so are we on the same page? Or are we even in the same book?
Didn't he act like he was elite? And I hate his name, like Lawmaster. Like, how much you have to think of yourself for your name to be Lawmaster? Bro. I hate that guy. Anyways. All right.
It's brutal.
So it's time for the meme review. Okay. So it's the meme review. Dude, this is awesome. Today's episode is going to be very special. Shout out to the plebs that joined the Simply Bitcoin Telegram chat. This is all their memes, and that's what we're going to review today. We're going to review their memes. We're going to go one at a time. We're going to take it slow, Phil. Take it slow.
Do we have a list of their names so we can give them shout outs and everything? I know. Okay, fine. So we'll give them shout outs in the notes, okay?
We'll give them a shout out in the notes. Apologies, guys. This is the first time. Forgive us.
Yeah. First time we've had, how many?
We're doing 4 today.
4. We're going 4.
Exactly.
Right, here we go.
We remember Phil's one. Okay. So a diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, and few cryptocurrencies. All in Bitcoin. Okay. All right. Okay. That made me laugh. And when you make me laugh, I add a point. Okay. So I'm gonna stop sharing the screen for a little bit. I'm gonna move. Oh, here. I'm gonna stop sharing the screen so we can rate it. And Phil, what's your score? 10. Oh,
Got a
okay.
soft spot for sure. Because like that, I totally love freaking Ernie.
Ernie. Okay, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. It was good. It was good.
Sorry,
It was great.
Elmo.
I laughed. It was great. Okay, we're moving on to the next one.
Elmo.
Elmo.
Can't
Okay.
get that wrong. All right, next one.
Now you know if you have a meme with Elmo, you'll get a 10 from Phil. Okay. It's not Bitcoin. It's a shit coin. Okay. Simple, sweet, effective. Yeah. All right, Phil, what are you going to give it? 8.6. Okay. I'm going to be a little bit more strict. I'm going to 7.
Oh man.
I like the message, which is I'm giving it a 7.
Nicer than you.
A message, dude. You've been nicer to me, but I've become more strict since I saw the Matrix meme. That's the problem. You know, the Matrix changed me and how I viewed life. Okay, so it's too difficult. That was deep. That didn't mean to be so deep. Okay, so it's too difficult. It's too risky. It's too expensive. It's too late. 2010, 2015, 2020, 2025. Okay, I like it. I'm going to give it an 8.
Wow.
What about you, Phil? I like the messaging behind it.
I'm going to get fancy with my numbers here. 7.8.
7.8. Okay. See, who's the next one now, bro?
Yeah, but you see, like, that's the thing, though. I still think, like, 7.8 is still pretty solid. I mean, that's some good messaging.
It is a good score. And this is the homie that got us to do the meme review of the plebs on the Simply Bitcoin Telegram channel. And it's Drake. He says, spending 50 cents on a Bitcoin transaction? No. Losing 95% in 3 years holding Bcash. Hey, okay. It's funny.
I can't stand Roger.
It made me laugh.
Yep.
It made me laugh. So,
all right. Here's mine.
9.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I like stuff with Drake. That meme is so recognizable to everyone. Like, think about that. Like, it doesn't even matter, like, what they say. Like, everybody will read that freaking meme.
100%.
Like, everyone will look at it.
And that's why I gave it an 8.7.
It was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
It was.
Now it's time for the Daily News, sponsored by. All right, so the Daily News for today is in Venezuela, Paxful citing regulations, its own risk tolerance exit Venezuela's peer-to-peer Bitcoin market. And man, Paxful's pretty big. And remember, guys, that there's no such thing as exchanges in Venezuela, and all the Bitcoin that's been bought is peer-to-peer, right? So it's basically an honor system. If you guys know how eBay works, right? Like, it's an honor system, but it's kind of protected by PayPal. Like, what do I mean by honor system? You only buy from someone that has good reviews, right? And surprisingly, it's actually very effective, this honor system, because the people that have a lot of reviews, they're financially incentivized to keep playing by the rules. So it's kind of a bummer that another peer-to-peer marketplace that serves Venezuelans and buying and selling Bitcoin in their fight against inflation kind of shuts down. So it kind of sucks. And remember that in Venezuela, it's a big deal, right? And Venezuela is the most used marketplace for local Bitcoins in South America, right? So a lot of Venezuelans use Bitcoin to kind of hedge against inflation, and the fact that Paxful closed made a little bit of a splash, especially in the Venezuelan Twitter Bitcoin community. So I thought it was newsworthy, Phil.
Yeah, it absolutely. You know what? It 100% is, and I, personally have never knew so much or learned, I should say, about Venezuela since I got into Bitcoin. Because getting into Bitcoin actually, for me, anyways, which I'm sure this is a lot of people's experience, kind of makes you very aware. Not just your own country's currency's problems, but every or most countries' currency's problems.
Absolutely. It just it teaches you that the money's broken, right? Yeah. And it just opens your eyes to that. And then once you understand that the money's broken, you understand how so many problems stem from the fact that the money's broke.
That's right. That's when you start to look at everything and you say, hey, wait a second, if the money was better, would we really be dealing with this issue in this way right now?
Absolutely. And it's so dangerous because it's like, it's incepting people now that like socialism is a good idea, but it's not social. It's not capitalism that's wrong.
No.
It's the money that's broken.
That's right. It is the money that's broken.
Absolutely. And we got
fix the money, fix the world, right?
Exactly. Fix the money, fix the world. We got, speaking of fix the money, fix the world.
This guy's helping out.
Big splash today. Michael Saylor, we mentioned him yesterday. He's the CEO of Microstrategy. Guess what? He followed through. He bought more Bitcoin. He announced it this morning on Twitter. It made the big splash. He bought an additional 16,796 additional Bitcoins. It's just so much Bitcoin. For $175 million. To date, we have purchased a total of 38,000 Bitcoins at an aggregate purchase price of $425 million, inclusion of fees and expenses. Dude, Matt Odell responded to it. You know, a lot of big names responded to it. American Hodl's in here. Dylan, Fix the Money, Fix the World, Self Bank. Shout out to him. Francis, man, it was a big splash. Hodl, our Space Cat.
Space Cat. Zender. I see a lot of fellow Bitcoiners.
Huge splash this morning. And dude, this is some big news. Some big news, big splash. And it just goes to show that he's just, I guess he's the vanguard for, you know, replacing cash or dollars as a reserve currency. This guy's like, F that. I'm going to go Bitcoin only.
So, okay, let me ask you this, right? Just the, you know, devil's advocate here. Is there something like, you know, why is MicroStrategy doing this, right? Obviously we think, you know, Bitcoin is, you know, the money, but it's like, is there a nefarious side to this? I saw some tweets about this today, and I was like, really?
Of course, there's a nefarious
So
side.
people are thinking there's like links to like, you know, BlackRock and stuff like that, and it's like this is the way of like the government trying to get, you know, a foothold in Bitcoin. And anyway, it was interesting. It was interesting to see that.
Look, I think that he wants to. So he owns a public company, and the sole duty of the CEO, when you're the CEO of a public company, is to increase the price of the shares, right? Yeah. It's that simple. And what's crazy is that it's such a large percentage of his company that now MicroStrategy has become essentially a Bitcoin ETF. Essentially, that's what it is, because such a large percentage, the company market cap is 1.5 billion. The total holdings that he has is 425 billion. So, million, I apologize. So, dude, 1/3 of the entire company's in Bitcoin. That's awesome. So essentially it's an ETF. So if the value of Bitcoin goes up, the value of his company will follow.
Absolutely.
So it's a Bitcoin ETF. If you don't want to buy GBTC, if you're that guy that doesn't want to buy real Bitcoin, buy MicroStrategy. Why not?
Yeah.
If you're a boomer and you don't like real Bitcoin, buy MicroStrategy. Anyways, guys, that's our show for today. Of course, if you like the show and if you want to help us grow and see us succeed, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to see Phil's pretty face and my ugly face, tune in tomorrow for more Simply Bitcoin and no fucking shit.